All right, good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020. We're looking at the S&P 500 futures. All right, well, I wasn't here yesterday, guys. I had a late morning, and then I had a bunch of things I was doing throughout the day, so I didn't have time to make any videos. But let's take a look today. It looks like that bearish divergence that I called off of the highs on Thursday night of last week has really carried through. I think we got over 150 point pullback. So that's the power of multiple time frame divergences. I got a divergence off that high on every single time frame, from the daily all the way down to my 512 tick chart. So there's the pullback we got. Now what's interesting is I had these levels marked on my 4-hour, these lows. It was right around 27.15 to 27.20. We came right down to 27, I think 19, and we bounced right off of it. And if you look now, when I last made my video, we were up here bouncing off the 50% retracement of this leg, and we got a bullish divergence now. So this is what is interesting. If this was a more powerful bounce, there's the divergence, we would have saw this carry through, but notice there's the divergence and then it rolled right over. So we just got that 50, 60 point push that day. We rolled over, we broke the 50, we broke the 61. At that point, I no longer look at this fib. We broke the 61, and I like to now look at the other way. See how we bounced right off that level, and now I'm looking for a retracement up. This bounce itself was a divergence. If you look at the major lows here, this major low all the way back here, even this one, I mean, well, we came up to it. So we came to this level. But if you look at where we were on RVI, we actually was this big push down. The same thing here off that major low. So to me, what that's saying is that doesn't make sense. If we were this low back here, and now we're coming back and we come up and we're not even breaking that low, but we're that much further on RVI, in my head that doesn't make any sense. So we'll look at that. Now let's go down to our 1 hour and see what we're doing here. So we got that bounce. This also was divergence. If you look at this, last time we were down here was up here. So we came down, but then this actually came up just a tad, maybe 1 or 2 percentage points on RVI. And here we are, we bounced up. So I want to look at retracements and see where we could have a pullback, because if you didn't catch this major divergence, again, you got it on multiple time frames going back to the 4-hour. If you didn't catch it, well, now here we are. And it's interesting to note we are right at the 38% retracement. We have bearish divergence. If you look at these highs, that's if it doesn't carry through. If this continues to push and we break that CPA, that blue line right there, then yeah, we've got more to go. But I like the fact that the retracement levels line up with some decent, like, so that was support, right? And then this was resistance, the 50%. And this, in a way, lines up here with these two blue CPAs, which was previous resistance. So I'm looking at these 3 levels, and then obviously these CPAs as we go up, because they line up exactly with support and resistance levels. So these are my levels for the morning. If we can't break above this right now, this might be it. We could go down. So I want to see, like on my 4-hour, I think it's just too zoomed out, so you can't see if there's divergence, but let's take a look. So, I mean, you could make the case that right now we are higher on RVI. So that is, in a way, so off this last high that we made, we've got kind of a higher RVI, which, again, that doesn't make sense in my head. That shouldn't happen. So I'm going to look out here, see what we do. If we break through here, like I said, I have those other levels. If we don't bust through there, then we're looking to see, let me jump down. Then we're looking to see if we can stay above these retracement levels. So this would be a new leg. Let me redraw that, and I'll go down to a smaller time frame so we get a little bit more resolution on what the price has done. And so we're looking to see what happens when we retrace back here now. Now this lines up beautifully right here with this support, the CPA 2757-ish. And we basically have to see, can we get through these levels? Can we get through all this noise right here, right around this CPA? If we can get through the noise on the CPA, then we've got to dial back and we have to look at these larger moves. And I believe I called multiple times 2620, which happens to be right down here, a 61.8 retracement of this whole leg from this low all the way to the high here. So notice we came down, we bounced off the 38, and now we're coming up and we're testing the 38 of this guy. So if we can get through it, then we got up. If we can't, we've got retracement levels on the way back down. If we can't break, if we break those in this low, then I think 2620 is not too far and is a likely target. We will have to wait and see. On the much larger time frame, if you looked at 2620, if we go back to the daily, I mean, that 2620 or 2630 area is right there. In the last video 2 days ago, I pointed out this is what I'm looking for the bigger pullback, and then this bottom level here. And more than likely, I mean, it's very possible that this 50% could be the major reaction point and we get a push up. But really it all has to do with what's going to happen here with the shutdown, with oil. There's a lot of things going on globally right now that could really tilt things one way or the other depending on what happens. So have a great day trading, guys. That's what we're looking for. Are we going to pull back from where we are right now, or are we going to bust through and test these levels? Well, let me just do one more thing. I do have bearish divergence on the 4-hour. Okay, I do have a bearish divergence on the hourly. Okay, I do have bearish divergence on the 27-minute off this high right here. I mean, that's pretty glaring. I mean, as long as it doesn't push up, if we start pushing up, we could eventually break this high on RVI, and then it makes sense. We have a newer high on RVI and a newer high on price, and then at that point there is no divergence. On the 9-minute, yes, we have divergence off the high. And then let's take a look real quick. Let's go down really small and see on the 3-minute off of that high, do we get divergence? And yep, I mean, look, no, we did not get divergence off the high, but more than likely right here, we could potentially get divergence if we come up to the high or just break it just a little bit, but we don't go any further. It starts to pull back. We've got a higher high in price, a lower high in RVI. That would be complete the divergence. On the 512, 100%, when we came up here, this was divergence, the first one. The second test was another divergence, and now this one right here is divergence. So I think there might actually be a good case that we pull back. But the thing is that if we pull back, it might only be for a little bit. This is the whole leg. It might only be to this KP. It might only be down, maybe meet where this 200 and the 50 meet. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to say into the open, we're going to get a little bit of a pullback. As far as it goes, I can't say. The market's going to have to decide. So have a great day, guys. Stay nimble.